All right, today we're diving into something that completely flips the script on corporate training. We're going to look at how to move it from just another expense on a spreadsheet to a proven profit center. We're going to break down a case study that delivered an absolutely staggering 190% return on investment. Let's dive right in.
So here's the big question, right? The one that every leader asks themselves. You're pouring money and resources into training your people, but can you actually prove that it's making a difference? I mean, how do you really connect the dots between a workshop and a real, tangible impact on the bottom line?
For the longest time, trying to measure this stuff, well, it's felt like a bit of a dark art, hasn't it? We've had to rely on things like subjective feedback, basic attendance records, and just simple completion rates. It's been a world of guesswork and tick-the-box exercises. But that is all about to change.
Okay, so first things first. We have to move way beyond what are often called happy sheets. You know what I'm talking about? Those simple feedback forms you fill out at the end of a session? Because asking if people enjoyed the training is fundamentally the wrong question. We need to go so much deeper.
The foundation for this big shift is a classic you might have heard of, the Kirkpatrick model. It gives us 4 distinct levels to evaluate any training. So level 1 is reaction. Did they like it? 2 is learning. Did they actually absorb the info? 3 is behavior. Are they using their new skills? And 4, the big one, is business impact. Did it actually move the needle for the company?
And here's the revolutionary part. The old way was all about these isolated little bits of data. Attendance, maybe some feedback. But this new framework, it's all about integration. It pulls data from everywhere, your HR systems, your CRM tools, and it uses analytics to finally connect all the dots in a way you can actually verify.
This brings us to the real heart of the whole thing, a 4-level scorecard. And listen, this isn't about fuzzy goals or vague aspirations. We're talking about setting hard, specific targets and then measuring everything. So let's break down what success actually looks like at each one of these levels.
So at level 1, we're measuring that immediate experience. But again, we're not just asking, did you like it? We're asking, are you actively participating? Are you leaning in? Are you truly engaged with what's happening?
And the target here, well, it's not small. We're talking about an 85% active engagement rate. That means people aren't just logged in with their camera off, they are actively participating, contributing, and really wrestling with the ideas. That's the foundation for real learning.
Okay, so people are engaged. That's a great start. But at level 2, we have to ask the next critical question. Did they actually learn anything? Did the key information make that crucial journey from the screen into their long-term memory?
And we're not just hoping. The proof is right here in the numbers. The target is a minimum 25% knowledge gain, and that's measured by comparing what people knew before the training versus what they knew after. It's undeniable proof that learning actually took place.
But here's the thing. Learning something today doesn't mean much if it's all gone tomorrow. That's why the next target is even more ambitious, 75% knowledge retention a full year later. Because for learning to have an impact, it absolutely has to be sustainable.
Now we get to level 3, and this is where the rubber truly meets the road. I mean, knowing something is one thing, right? But are employees actually taking these new skills and applying them back on the job where it really counts?
And check this out. This is where we start to see the impact ripple outside the company walls. The goal is a 15% improvement in customer service scores. This isn't some internal metric. This is data coming directly from your customers, proving that better trained employees create happier customers. Simple as that.
And we can get even more direct in connecting training to actual revenue. The next target, a 20% increase in cross-selling specific products tied directly to the employees who completed that training. This is the moment training stops feeling like a cost and really starts acting like a high-yield investment.
And that brings us to the top of the mountain, the ultimate measure of success. Level 4, business impact. This is the big one. Does all of this, the engagement, the learning, the new behaviors, does it all actually make a financial difference to the organization?
And here is the ultimate goal, a 10% increase in revenue generated specifically by the employees who completed the training. This is not a vague correlation. This is drawing a direct, measurable line between learning and the numbers on the company's balance sheet.
So, you've seen all the pieces of the puzzle. How does this all actually add up? Let's connect these learning metrics directly to the revenue and see the final, incredibly powerful return on investment.
Let's break down the business case here. The initial investment was 5 crore rupees, which is about 50 million Indian rupees. But now look at the payback, the annual benefits.
You've got 3.2 crore just from people working smarter and more efficiently, a massive 8.5 crore from them just performing better, and another 2.8 crore because customers are happier. That adds up to a total annual benefit of 14.5 crore.
So you run those numbers and the result is a net return on investment of 190% in just 2 years. That's not just a good return, that is irrefutable proof that investing in your people is one of the smartest financial decisions a company can possibly make. But you're probably asking, how on earth do you get this kind of data? Well, it requires a completely new playbook. You can't just rely on old-fashioned, boring surveys. The key is to make gathering this feedback feel less like a test and more like a natural, ongoing coaching conversation.
For instance, imagine just getting a simple message like this from an AI assistant, right on a platform you already use every day, like WhatsApp or Teams. It's just a quick, conversational check-in that feels completely frictionless.
And the employee's response is just as simple. No forms to fill out, no new passwords to remember. You just reply. It's as easy as texting a colleague.
And this is where the real magic happens. The AI doesn't just collect a number and stop. It acts like a coach. It probes a little deeper, asking for a real-world example, an impact story, that gives you this rich qualitative data on exactly how the skills are being used. It's like having a personal learning coach for every single employee.
So this leaves us with a final, really big thought to consider. If we can use data this precisely to measure and improve learning inside a company, what would happen if we applied that same data-driven, analytical mindset to our own personal growth? Just think about how that could completely transform the way we learn, grow, and invest in ourselves.